All right, so Wedding Week continues here on CT Style. We've invited one of our favorite guests back to break down wedding do's and don'ts in the etiquette department.
Oh, should be interesting. Our good friend Karen Thomas from Etiquette.com is here. So Karen, help us break it down. What are some of the biggest rules that people have to follow when it comes to etiquette and weddings?
Well, for the bride and groom, what I want to impart most is, you know what, have fun. Have fun with it, but it does not give you the right to become a bridezilla.
That's true.
How many now you're recently married, you know, and you know what, you have to be respectful. So be respectful of your bridesmaids, your groomsmen, and the expectations that you put on them. And that's, you know, key. But you know what, again, once you're there and it's finally there, enjoy every minute because it goes so fast, so fast.
Now you, my friend, were not a bridezilla, right?
I was not a bridezilla, but I was a very organized.
Very
organized. I was not bridezilla, although I had every minute planned of my wedding.
And that's wonderful because it helps everyone.
And it went smoothly.
Yes.
See?
We had to meet the midnight deadline.
It worked out.
Yes.
It worked out.
All right, so let's talk about if you are invited to a wedding. First of all, you get the invitation in the mail. What should you do?
The very first thing, you open that invitation and you send it right back, okay? Immediately, and as she nods at Ryan, immediately send it right back because here it is, you have a self-addressed stamped envelope. How easy can it be?
Right.
Okay, you should not expect to have the bride or groom have to call you 2-3 weeks later, say, are you coming? How many? What, you know, none of that. Do it right away. And then let's remember the +1 rule, which I say every time, but never bring a +1. On your invitation, if it says, Mr. Ryan Christopher, that is who is invited.
That's it.
No,
See,
there's no one else invited.
I actually did that recently where I texted the groom. I said, hey, can I bring a +1? And he was like, it didn't say it on the card. Yeah, because I was like, what, am I going to go by myself to this thing and sit with people
But
I
that's
don't
a
know?
really touchy subject. We had a rule at our wedding, unless you were engaged, you were not able to have a +1 because it was going to get out of control at that point.
And people,
too, right?
exactly, not only expensive, but it blows not only the budget, but your catering, you know, issue as well. So people need to be mindful of that. What it says on there is what is invited, period.
Nobody wants strangers in their wedding pictures.
No,
right, right.
Who are these people?
Who is this guy from Craigslist?
No wedding crashers, right?
Oh, yeah. How about the wedding party, right? Because there's a lot of responsibility with that.
There is. Now, here's my main tip. If you are accepting this big honor to be the maid of honor or a groomsman, please make sure that your budget will allow for that. There are expenses that are going to come up, and you should budget for it. Do not accept it because it's all great. Oh, yeah, I will do it. And then a month in,
Bachelor
you know
party,
what? I can't. Absolutely. And then say to them, I can't. This messes up the whole thing. So make sure that you can afford it and remember what the expenses are, such as, like you said, the parties, a gift, maybe the events,
Tux rental,
the outfits,
Gowns,
the shoes, and
the nails,
gifts,
everything,
the pampering, all of this.
We kept it really simple. To avoid all of that, we just had our brothers and sisters. It was direct family living, so you could call the rules, do what they say.
Yeah.
Right.
And they have to do
and we
exactly
couldn't
what
fight
you
about it, so we just kept it our family in the wedding party.
But you have to take that in consideration because it's all, you know, well and good when you're like, yeah, I'll be in it, and then all of a sudden you're looking, wait a minute, we're going to Aruba, and it's like $3,000.
Right, and I don't think the bride would be upset if you gracefully declined.
Exactly, but just be honest.
Understand.
Exactly, and that's a huge one.
Honesty is the best policy.
Absolutely.
Karen, thank you so much for joining us here today on CT Style. For more info, Karen always has some good tips. Head on over to ctetiquette.com, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers could use some of this advice today, so thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
All right, and up next, it's the groom's guide to walking down the aisle. We'll tell you what you need to do before you say I do.
And we're going to meet a mother who found a creative way to motivate her children with kids cash. So parents, stay tuned for that.